What's up, everybody, and welcome back to the channel again. Here it's me, your boy, the Retro Slasher. But you guys already knew that if you clicked on this video. So what I'm here back for today, I know I kind of been a little inactive here on my channel. Haven't really been making a lot of videos as of late, but I do apologize. Life's just been extremely busy with work and whatnot. To be quite honest, just haven't really been motivated to make a video. But today is a different day. I found some motivation. I went to my local horror movie on rock music convention here in my city. Uh, it's my fourth year in a row going. Every year I've had a really good experience going. Just creates this really cool atmosphere. Just being around fellow fans of the genre and whatnot. And also it's a kind of cool feeling too, knowing that there's other people out there that like this kind of stuff, the same shit as you do, especially in your neck of the woods. Because to be quite honest with you, I personally don't really know anybody around here that is into this kind of stuff that I'm into or whatnot. So it's really cool just being in that kind of setting and environment, interacting with other fellow fans of the shit. So, yeah, anyways, fourth year we're going. To be quite honest though, this year it kind of was a little bit of a letdown. Just wasn't seemed like there wasn't as much stuff there this year, which is okay, I suppose. What can you do? But just like the amount of star power of the celebrities and the guests there, it just didn't seem like it was in previous years. Even though meeting the celebrities and whatnot is not really my cup of tea, it's not something I would personally go there for, have intentions to do. To be quite honest with you, I'm a really shy person in real life. So I would just like get all mumbled mouth and whatnot, and I wouldn't even know what to say to these people. So I just avoid that awkward situation. But moving along from all that, so what I did is picked up quite a few things this year. This year is a little bit more limited on funds of spending money that I can go with, so I did did manage to pick up quite a few things here though. Really cool, awesome stuff that I was looking for. Unfortunately, there's a couple of things there I went there with intentions to buy, but they weren't there for my purchasing needs, so that's kind of a little letdown too. Maybe that's another reason why it didn't seem like it was as good of a year. But anyways, let's get into some of the stuff that I picked up or hauled up on and hoarded up on, as some people like to say out there. So in the background of this video, you notice some nice little prints or posters, whatever your particular phrase for these type of things are, because I know people out there on the internet are real particular about what you call certain things. So yeah, we're just gonna call them printed posters for the sake of this video. But anyways, as you can see in the background, I did pick up a few last year, and I've said to myself, I'm gonna buy some more this year. Look for in particular ones that I really wanted for the collection of my posters. So first thing I picked up, really no surprise, my favorite horror film of all time and one of my favorite films in general, and that is a print of the Lost Boys here. Uh, real simple reason why it's favorite film. Even though the artwork for this and whatnot is not really anything in particular, noticing it now and thinking about it, Lost Boys might have invented the floating head idea in cover arts. Pretty sure they might have been one of the first ones to do it. But anyways, really cool artwork. Just amazing 80s cast on the cover. Great amount of actors and actresses. So it justifies itself. But yeah, glad to have this for the collection. Hang that bad boy up real fucking soon. All right, next up here, I know you guys are gonna laugh at me and say that's fake. That's not the real thing. I know. But I wanted a poster of this movie for the longest time, and a real one or like a legit print of the original one is just way overpriced. And then it's the Sleepaway Camp one. Now you notice this one might look just a little bit familiar to the Scream Factory Blu-ray release. Yep, because that's the same exact thing. Like I said, simple as this, I wanted a poster of Sleepaway Camp, one of my all-time 80s slasher films. So I feel like I needed to hang this bad boy up to get this to hang it up. Hey, you know what I'm saying, man. Anyways, we'll move on. Next one here, if you're not even really a fan of horror films, but you just love cinema and you have movie posters on all your wall, this is a must get, and that is, of course, the Great Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Now, I believe this might be like the original theatrical artwork for the film. I'm not 100% sure on that. I know I've seen this one pop up online quite a bit and whatnot. This particular art, well, not this particular edition, but you know what I'm saying. Again, yeah, like I said, if you just love film, this is a must-have if you have posters on in your movie room or whatnot. Yeah. Next thing up here might catch a little flack from some people because I talk a lot of shit about this film for some reason. Deep down, I really do think it's a good film. I just think it might be a little bit overrated, and that is poster print of The Burning. Yeah, it's 80s slasher film. When I really started getting these posters, I wanted to get only 80s slasher films because I'm a retro slasher and that's what I'm known for, I suppose. People label me that as thinking I'm all about slashers all the time, but anyways, yeah, but yeah, I just wanted this for the collection. It's really nice artwork. Pretty badass vintage shit there. Let me take a puff of the cigarette because, man, I've been talking for so long already. Yeah, I'll take a sip of the beer too. Sam Adams, 10 pounds of pumpkin spice. Good shit, 10 pounds of pumpkin, my bad, no spice. And the last thing I picked up, now the last ones were from this one seller. He was selling, you buy two, you got two free. And then I stumbled across this other table in this convention that was selling posters. Actually, I think every table sells posters of this damn thing. But I saw this one, I was like, oh, I gotta get that. That's so nice. So I paid full price for it, the big whole $10. But that is Shopping Mall. I just always been a big fan of this artwork. It's just an amazing artwork. Just recently picked up the Blu-ray of this film, so adds a nice real centerpiece to the collection, I suppose. Love this artwork, man. So great, so great. Yeah. So next, moving on, we're gonna get into the DVDs and Blu-ray portion of this. Pretty sure what most of you guys actually care about. Now, when it comes to this, it's kind of a debated topic whether or not people should buy bootlegs of films or whatnot. I say if it doesn't have a legit release of the film, you go for it, man. What can you do? It's the only way to see it. You might as well do it. But we'll get to the bootlegs in a second. First, I want to talk about these two independent films. One of the first things I actually purchased, I was just approached by this unique looking individual, all dolled up in his punk rock attire with his really bright green mohawk. That was really, really big. It's kind of weird. Not really usually people I kind of conversate with, but can't really hate them. They're pretty cool people, I suppose. Yeah, so I bought these two films. It was one for $3 or two for $5. And they come in these like little weird paper casing. But first thing I picked up here is The Governing Force. It's like some kind of punk rock exploitation type ish film. I don't know. I met the guy that was in it, the guy with the green mohawk. He was in this film. He convinced me to buy it, I suppose. Maybe I'm just an idiot and I spent $5 for no reason. And the other thing I bought for the same $5 for both these is this film called Gay Jesus. Yes. I have no idea why the hell I bought a film called Gay Jesus. Probably going to go to hell for owning a film called this, but it looks absolutely ridiculous and something I'm probably going to have to get really fucked up to watch. Probably make more sense that way anyways. Yeah, so now I own a film called Gay Jesus. What can you do? Alright, so getting into these bootlegs here. First thing I picked up, this stuck out to me because it's actually artwork for thumbnails I've used many times here on my channel, and I never knew what it was for, what movie it was for, and plus I was just lazy and didn't really research it or anything either, but it's called The Swingers Massacre. Now I'm assuming this is like some kind of slasher film from the year 19 something. It doesn't really specify the date on here. Nope, don't, but really cool artwork. That's why I use it for some of my thumbnails. Looks interesting. Probably completely shit, but who the hell knows? It's an 80s slasher film. I'm assuming it's 80s. The plot sounds very 80s. Right, next up here is a film I'd never heard about, but yeah, caught my eye. Just on the title alone and the killer here on the cover, and it's called Blood Screams from the year 1988, which is a pretty fine year if you ask me. But anyways, yeah, seems really interesting. Know nothing about this film yet again. I'm assuming it's a slasher film just based on the title and the cover art, but the plot kind of doesn't really specify. It doesn't sound like a slasher in the plot. But if you guys ever seen Blood Screams, let me know. Sounds interesting. There's probably like a million movies called Blood Scream in some form or fashion. Right, next up here is a film that I've heard a lot of good things about. I thought this was actually getting a legit release, but it turns out it's actually another film with a very similar title, and it's called Class Reunion Massacre. This film kind of looks like it might be shot on video, but I could be wrong. And this one is from the year 1985, I think that says. It's kind of washed away on the back there. But it looks pretty interesting. Yeah, actually heard some pretty good things about this film, so curious to check it out. Right, next up here is a film that just makes me laugh when you see the title, because the way it's put. You'll get it in a second. It's called Unmasked Part 25. Yet again, this film might look like it's shot on video. Not really sure. Oh, 1989 is the year on this one. The year I was born. So hopefully it's good. 89. Spawn me. But it's funny. It's called Part 25. Makes you wonder if there's really 24 other versions of this film. I highly doubt that. But I can't wait to give this one a check. As like some kind of guy ripping off Jason with a hockey mask on the back. It's probably completely shit, to be honest with you, but it's a slash film and I need it for the collection. Next up here is a film that, actually thinking about it now, I think it does have a legit DVD release, so forgive me for that, but I don't know. It might be out of print and extremely expensive, and it's called Unhinged. I know Slasher Junkie, aka Paul, just recently watched this film and he really enjoyed it. Told me it was pretty good, so I had to give this a shot. It's from 1983, so yet again an early year slash film from the 80s. Yeah, hopefully as good as people say it is. Next up here is a film that really seriously needs a release, because it's a really good film, and that is called The Prey. I think this film, I forget what country this film is from, and I'm not sure on a year. I want to say it might be 1985 as well. I'm not really sure on the year of this one, but I have seen this before. It's all over YouTube and whatnot. Last up here for the bootlegs is a film that, yet again, I've never seen before, but I've heard really good things about. I always thought I have seen this film, but turns out it's a movie they kind of sound the same to me for some strange reason. That movie I've seen before is called Act of Vengeance. This one is called Edge of Axe. Really not anything in common, I suppose, but I just always got confused, maybe because of the guy with a white mask on the cover. Act of Vengeance is like some strange rape film, but yeah, this one's called Edge of Axe. Heard really good things about this one. Never seen it before. Can't wait to give this one a watch. Yeah, and that does it for the bootlegs or the DVDs. I only got 2 Blu-rays here to show. First thing I picked up here is from Code Red. You know, the dreaded company called Code Red. Yeah, and it goes by Nightmares, or Nightmare in the Damaged Brain, I believe was the full title of this film. Yeah, I always want to see this film. It's been on my wish list forever. I know 88 Films also released this film. I bought this, like one of the first things I bought when I got into the convention. So, curious to see how the transfer is. You know how Cold Red can be. But what can you do? But anyways, I own it. Now, moving on to 88 Films. There actually was a table there that was selling import of films. They had a few arrows and whatnot, but they had a lot of 88 film releases. A lot of the region-locked ones, like a lot of the Italian classic films and whatnot. I don't own a region-free player, so I had to pass on them and whatnot. But I know this collection is region-free because I own a few of them. You might be able to see them there in the background in the Blu-ray section. And it's Drive-In Massacre here on Blu-ray. Yeah, this was a film I intended on buying. I kind of paid a little bit more for it than I would have ordered it from the UK, but that way I don't have to wait for shipping from another country and whatnot. Never seen this film, but I know Zach says it's pretty good. I believe Zach likes this film, which is surprising. Zach likes no film. But yeah, I own this film here on Blu-ray now. And unfortunately, at this table, like I said, I saw the Code Red release of Nightmares and Damaged Brain on Blu-ray first, so I grabbed it. I could have passed up the $20 price. And unfortunately, they actually had Nightmare and Damaged Brain Blu-ray of 88 Films release of Nightmare, so what can you do? But whatever, I own both of them now in some form or fashion. I'm excited to check this one out. It's a film that I've been wanting to grab forever. And that pretty much does it for what I actually bought at Rock and Shock this year. But this time I just want to take time to show off 3 more DVDs that got in the mail in the last couple of days from uh, a person. Every year, well, second year in a row, we did on the 22 Shots of Horror group page. Brandon puts together this Secret Santa-ish type thing. We call it Secret Satan. During October, we exchange gifts like mystery partner, like how Secret Santa works and whatnot. And I actually got the films in today. Unfortunately, last year, the person that got me kind of jibbed out and bitched out, so fuck that guy. But this guy this year actually held up his end of the bargain and actually sent me my stuff, so really cool, appreciate it. His name is Simon. I'm not sure of his last name, and even if I knew his last name, I probably would fuck it up because I'm really bad at pronouncing names for some reason. But first thing he sent me over is Sledgehammer here on DVD. This Intervision release is a shot of video slasher film that I've never seen before, but I can't wait to give it a check out because it's been on my wish list for a long time. It's always just been kind of a little bit pricey. This is the reason why I never buy any of these films, so I figured I'd put it on my wish list for somebody else to buy, so if they suck, I feel like I wasn't justified by spending money on these, so somebody else spent money on these for me. Next thing up here is a film that I heard a lot of good things about from multiple people. I think Moods is a big fan of this movie. I think Derek is as well, and it is called The Oatmeal Man. Yeah. It's about a killer oatmeal guy. Sounds interesting. I can't wait to give this one a watch real soon. I might actually do a review on this or whatnot. Last thing I got in the mail today. For some reason, this one and Oatmeal Man are burn on demand from Amazon, so it took a few extra days from Sledgehammer to get, but no rush, no big deal. A film that I'm really, really surprised they made a sequel to. I'm a big fan of the first one, and it goes by the title of Cheerleader Camp. So, whatever, 30 years later or so on, whatever, 25 years later, they make a sequel called Cheerleader Camp 2, The Death. Yeah. It looks like it's completely shit. It looks like it's extremely low budget, but I love the Cheerleader Camp so much. Part 1 so much, so I had to get the sequel. You can't have a franchise and not complete it, or sequels and not have both. So I can't wait to give this one a watch, even though it's probably going to be completely dog shit and dookie. Yeah, so that does it. Thank you to Simon for sending me these over in the Secret Santa exchange. Yeah, so that does about it for this video. About 20 minutes in, I suppose. Sounds like about a good time to end it here. Like I said, I just want to say thank you for Rocket Shock actually having a convention here in boring old Worcester, Massachusetts, because there's nothing else to do here. So once a year, at least one day is made for me. And to all you guys, thanks for watching. I'll check you out with the next video. Till then, later.